For the Attorney General of the United States to make that statement, he is either a liar or a fool or both.
Lou Dobbs lost his mind on Fox News over the fact that Trump's Attorney General, Bill Barr, finally admitted that there is no voter fraud. So before I even get to this clip, and there's actually two clips to this, the AP here disputing Trump, Barr says no widespread election fraud. Now, it's unclear what led to the decision to finally admit this publicly, as they have been enabling and encouraging this the entire time, and you still have GOP senators and representatives continue to push this lie that somehow the election was rigged or there's fraud. None of it's true, but finally Trump's AG Bill Barr has admitted this publicly, and Lou Dobbs lost his mind. Check this out.
Today, a member of his own cabinet appeared to join in with the radical Dems and the deep state and the resistance. Attorney General William Barr, who has been absent for weeks and weeks, telling the Associated Press that the U.S. attorneys and FBI agents who have followed up on complaints of specific voter fraud across the country have produced nothing. To date, we have not seen fraud on a scale, he said, that could have affected a different outcome in the election. For the Attorney General of the United States to make that statement, he is either a liar or a fool or both. He may be perhaps compromised. He may be simply unprincipled, or he may be personally distraught or ill. But in no way can he honestly stand up before the American people and say that the FBI has, with any integrity or intensity, investigated voter fraud in this country and then say it did not amount to anything. Because what we are hearing just from the eyewitnesses in state legislative hearings, forget all of the rest, those eyewitnesses in state legislative hearings across the country tell the truth. And it's a story of election fraud, elections rigged to deny the will of the majority in this country. And we will be taking that up here tonight.
All right. Now I have a second clip that gets even crazier. But here Lou Dobbs is saying that to simply acknowledge reality, that Joe Biden won the election and that Trump lost, that means that AG Bill Barr is siding with the radical Dems. Just acknowledging the fact that there is no voter fraud. These cases have been thrown out of court again and again. There is no evidence of anything. It's apparently siding with the radical Dems. Yes, AG Bill Barr, known to be a radical Democrat. Also, that he says this is a story to deny the will of the majority. The actual story to deny the will of the majority is the fact that Democrats have only lost the popular vote once over the last 8 elections. George W. Bush's second term, he won the popular vote. Every other election, Republicans have lost the popular vote. Yet Trump in 2016 became president, even though he lost the popular vote to Hillary Clinton. That's denying the will of the people. In 2000, George Bush lost the popular vote to Al Gore. That's denying the will of the people. Yet no, here where Joe Biden gets 80 million votes, clearly has a massive lead in the popular vote over Donald Trump. No evidence of voter fraud whatsoever. And in fact, when there have been individual cases of voter fraud, as I've discussed on this channel, it's been Republicans voting twice. There's one guy in Pennsylvania voted or attempted to vote for his dead mother and admitted to the police that, yes, he tried to commit voter fraud, that he meant to try and vote twice. It wasn't like an accident. There was another story of voter fraud, I believe in Texas, where a lady was out on bail and then she voted and she didn't realize she was breaking the law in that case. But this is somebody voting for his dead mother for Trump twice, realizing that he was committing voter fraud. And again, these are still individual cases. But there is no evidence of widespread voter fraud. It's all completely made up. And before I get to the next clip here, just Bill Barr is not a good person. Like, just to be clear here, just because he's come out to acknowledge reality, he has enabled all of this the entire time. This story back in October, Barr broke elections law, ethics group says, and called to impeach. So there's this big investigation into what Bill Barr was doing up until the election, and there was this push to impeach him because of the fact that this is somebody who is acting unethically. Yet, it's amazing that it's gotten to the point where Bill Barr, this man, is the one to finally acknowledge within the Trump White House that Trump lost. Now, before going on to the second clip, Daily Beast here says the Fox Business host would go on to cite the various conspiracies and unfounded allegations that Trump and his legal team have peddled, despite the fact that the president's legal challenges have repeatedly been laughed out of court and states continue to certify their votes. Undeterred throughout the broadcast, however, Dobbs continued to hold out hope that somehow the president would still be in the White House come January 21st. At one point, in fact, he even introduced a new player into the nefarious international conspiracy that already involves dead Venezuelan dictator Hugo Chavez flipping Trump votes to Biden via corrupt voting software. So in addition to apparently dead Hugo Chavez stealing the election for neoliberal Joe Biden, you also have this new player. Let me show you what that is.
And I just want to ask you, could it be that Antifa was running the election for the Democrats in that building? Because it sounded like Antifa tactics.
No, they definitely appear to have been inspired by Antifa, and that doesn't even include what happened with the Wayne County Board of Canvassers and State Board of Canvassers.
Ah, yes, of course. Antifa. Antifa stole the election for Joe Biden. We all know Antifa, well-known, neoliberals. Antifa, they love corporate control. They support forever wars. Antifa, definitely, they think Medicare for all is too far. They're more comfortable with a public option, or really just improving Obamacare. Yes, Antifa definitely stealing the election for Joe Biden. These people are deranged. I'm not sure how much further it can go. This is completely crazy. You already got dead Hugo Chavez. You got Antifa. I mean, I'm not sure where else they can go from here. But of course, Dobbs wasn't the only one. Newsmax host Greg Kelly, who has risen to fame in right-wing media circles in the last few weeks for suggesting Trump could emerge as the winner of the election, went after Barr on his show. Quote, "Some of us are wondering if he is a warrior with the Constitution or if he's just a bureaucrat," Kelly said. Kelly added that he can't believe if Barr looked for voter fraud, he wouldn't find any. And Mark Levine said he regretted to say that Barr's comments were misleading. Of course. It's not just going to be Lou Dobbs. It's going to be right-wing media for quite a while. This is bringing in the eyeballs. It's raising a ton of money for Donald Trump. Donald Trump has his election fraud fund where he's funneling 75% of that into his new PAC, a PAC that he can use to funnel that money into his own businesses, or he can give it to GOP politicians running for in campaigns, or he can use it on his own campaign for 2024. So as long as they continue getting the eyeballs and raising money, and it's delivering, the energy they need on the far right here, they're going to keep using this BS well past Inauguration Day and at least over the next 4 years.